Hi, I'm Vicky, fashion designer, author. Just wrote a new book, The Absolute Woman. It's all about feminine power. I've been in business since 1964. Well, basically since I was 12, but I started in 1964 and opening a shop in Paris in 1968 with my best friend Mia. And all of a sudden, fashion became less happening. About 2008, business was really bad selling clothes. I'd been selling clothes since 50 years, and the stores were slumping. And I said, what am I going to do? And it dawned on me, life part two job. Life part two job. What is a life part two job? Well, get to retire 65, but I think at the age of 50, which I should have started, but I didn't until I was 60, think of the life part two job. At 50, find out what you really, really love. Something that you absolutely adore, like you love baking. You love baking, or you love putting things together, antique store, flea market store. You love sewing and you want to be able to embroider clothes and sell beaded tops or something. Beaded bags to a store. Being a nurse, looking after old people, driving people around and talking to them like part of a group of people that meet in hospitals, taking a dog around to hospitals. What would you really like to do from 60 till you die? Your life part two job. Well, I thought about it and I realized when I was looking through my paperwork, I went, oh my God, I've been writing since I'm a little girl, writing the craziest things. I'm going to be a writer. I wrote this when I was 12. I was still Vicky, T-O-B-I-C-K-E-Y, after Mickey Mantle. The most valuable thing in life. To enjoy life every minute, every moment, appreciate the whole universe. I wrote this at 12. I also wrote, most people see only the surface, never see the true meaning. They're not truly comprehensive and intelligent, and they don't see the greatness. Many people's minds are so limited. Scientists think in terms of theories, conclusions, statistics, numbers. I spelled these right. And theories that have become overpowering, that the simple beauty of a flower is lost. The simple beauty of a flower is lost. I wrote that at 12. So I thought, wow, 12 years old, I started writing all these things. I'm going to look, and I found more stuff that I had written. And I said, I'm going to become a writer. But how do I write? I don't type. I wrote that longhand when I was a little girl, fashion designer. How can I write? Well, I've had such a great life. Oh my God. I mean, who at 20 goes in business with Elizabeth Taylor, the most famous woman in the world? Nobody. It's just so crazy. I was on the Johnny Carson show when I was 21, showing off a mini skirt, holding my dog Wuffles, and smoking a cigarette. While I was sitting there in Johnny Carson, I was smoking a cigarette, holding a puppy, and wearing a mini skirt. You could see everything all the way up, practically. 1964. So I've had a great life. I've got to write about it, but how do I write? So I took a pencil, I got some paper, and I wrote for 3 years. I wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. And then I went into New York City and I asked to see if an agent, and somebody said, okay. And they said, well, we've got to get somebody to type this up. It's all written long, pages everywhere, And somebody typed it for me, and then they got a publisher, and then they made it my book. It's all about the dress. And I got to sell my book on television, on HSN, my first job with television. And I thought, wow, this television, the book has led me to the television, and the television is a way that I can sell product to the whole world, to the country. Now I'm talking to everybody on YouTube, and I had no idea about that. In 2011, when I got my book on TV, I'd started writing my book about 2005. So it's a good long time ago that I started writing. So your life part two job. When can you start? Well, as soon as you stop earning money from your life part one job. But I do suggest for both men and for women, what's your favorite thing in the whole world? What is your favorite that you never did what was your totally favorite thing? Looking after dogs? Looking after pets? What was your favorite thing? Building things with your hands? Sculpting things? What was your favorite thing? Do it. Try it. Do it. Start on the weekends. Make a little space in your house, and every weekend do your Life Part 2 dream project. And maybe you will have picked a Life Part 2 job. Some of the great jobs are in taking care of older people. As we age, we're not dying so fast. My mom and dad passed away at 95 and 97, and their parents passed away in their 70s and 80s. So there was an extra 10 or 15 years. So our generation and the people who are only 20 and 30 and 40 today, by the time you're 50, think of your Life Part 2 job. And make sure that your Life Part 2 job is not a me job. If you can, make it helping other people. Opening up a bakery, making great cakes, opening up a restaurant with your kids, being a gardener, helping people with their gardens. If you know all about gardening, I really need a good gardener here. We're just overwhelmed with the flowers on this property. But there's nobody can hire themselves out as a great gardener. And you can bend over and really take care of yourself. So 65 and on, for maybe 10 years, you'd be good at bending and keeping your body in shape. So being a gardener would be a great job. Driving people. Now I need a driver. I'm not a good driver anymore. And now I need a driver. Being a driver, hiring yourself out, making a great poster that you put up in the local store and say, I'm a driver, and make a drawing of yourself and be a driver. Dog walking. All these great Life Part 2 jobs. So I want you to think about it. It's the second part of my book. It's talking about how I got a Life Part 2 job working on television, working on Home Shopping Network, talking to people and selling fragrance, selling my perfumes that I started making when I was a young woman at 45, 50. I invested all my money making perfumes, and I'm still selling them today with the same company 20 years later that distribute them. They're in the Perfumania stores, the Perfumania malls, and especially on Home Shopping Network, where I love working. People are a lot of fun. Thank you.